Hello, welcome. Today's video is going to be a bit different to the usual. We are going to actually go through my process of doing a session. Normally I can't really do this because when I'm working on people's music it hasn't been released and they don't want me, presumably, I mean it seems unlikely they would, they don't want their music being out there until it's finished, right? So I can't really show the process of recording a lot of stuff. I can do it here and there, but usually if I want to give a musical example of something, I have to just make it up. Today we've got something from my friend Ed. Ed is a YouTuber. He does a load of gear reviews and like kind of hardware interfaces, microphones, speakers, all that sort of stuff. Check Ed's channel out. He's a lovely guy, great drummer, and he's also a songwriter, and he kind of uses his songs as musical examples. He's asked me to do some... Oh, I just bit my tooth. How can you bite your tooth? He's asked me to do guitars on a track for him. So I'm going to go through the whole process with you. I don't know how it's going to work. I'm going to skip through the slow, dull bits, but I'm going to take you through, in order, my process for recording guitars. If it's different to you, or if there's something about it that doesn't make sense, like, I really would love to hear from you guys how you approach this kind of thing. We all want to get better, right? So okay, so I'm doing a screen capture, so we're going to cut between that here and there, and I'm going to really just try and get through this in a way that makes some sort of sense. We've got Empty Logic project, and we've already downloaded the stuff from Ed. We've got a chart. Now I know that these chords are wrong, so I'm going to make another chart. And we've got the stems. I've already unzipped the zip file. So what we got? Strings, vocals, electric guitar, acoustic, piano, bass, drums. I know there's a problem with the acoustic guitars, so so we're going to redo those. We don't need to hear the acoustics. Create new tracks. Right, here we go. So let's have a listen. Hang on, tempo. Right, so I know, or I believe, that there's a... Right, 78 BPM, right. So for this intro, Ed has asked us to do a 2-bar intro of acoustic guitar, so we're going to make a little edit here. That's going to be our intro. Would you agree that our time has come to leave this island of... Right, now it's time to make a chart. The way I do this, I have this tray full of, absolutely full of chord charts for all the songs I've recorded. There's stuff here going back years, actually. And I keep them, and now and again, and as I said in another video, when you've got a chart and the artist comes back and says, "Oh, this is great. Do you do bass guitar?" You don't have to make another chart. You don't have to remind yourself of it, you know, because it's a week later. You're just like, whoosh, there we go, bang, 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 easy. The job's a good one. Right. So let's make a chart for this. Write the title on the piece of paper. Otherwise, when you're looking at them in the future, it means nothing. So this is how I do it. Title, intro. I put the song sections in the margin, and then I do the chords. Depending on the tempo, I'll do 4 bars per line or 8 bars per line. But I always keep it like on a grid so that I can see the structure. So we've got 2 bars of intro. Right, E, B. Right, chorus. So A is us 2. Really simple chords, and oh, you're all wonky. Let's just fix that. Yeah, so we got simple chords. Ed only asked me to play the first half of it. The bloody thing is 6.5 minutes long. So cheers, Ed, for the epic adventure. Because it's so straightforward, I'm going to double track some strummed acoustics in the second half as well, just to give him the option in the mix in case it sounds good. Because it's really dynamic building up, and maybe he can make use of that. Electric guitars on this track, I think, is David Dondrade. Fuck, brilliant guitar player. Like, check him out. I don't think he really does YouTube very much, but what a wonderful player. And he's taking the solo on this and doing those electric guitars. Brilliant work, Dave. Loving that, mate. Very much loving that. Let's set up the microphone. Let's get you out of it. Whoops. Right. So we're using this. This is the ShinyBox ribbon mic. Fantastic microphone. Lovely on acoustic guitars. Very mellow. Turn phantom power off before plugging it in because it's a ribbon. Put it in the cradle before plugging it in as well. It's fiddly doing this with you here. So here's what I'm seeing now. Going into this here. This is the Neve 8801 Martin J40 headphones, long headphone extension cable, tuner. That's what you're here for, isn't it? The quality content. You want to hear me tune a guitar. Music stand, cheap music stand, massively underrated by us rock and roll musicians. World's worst cappuccino, made very quickly with one hand. Completely splattered milk all over the place. Right, so the charts on a music stand here. I reckon the levels are going to be okay, so I'm just going to go for it. I've decided to use the warm audio after all. I think it needs it. Prefer it to the Neve. It's 1176 type compression on acoustic guitar is just the win. Slow attack, fast release. I've got it on 1:4 ratio, 4:1 ratio, I should say. And yeah, it's just doing 1 or 2 dB of compression max. So it just helps get a nicer level into the machine, and it was just a bit more of a baked in good sound. I'm hearing some stuff that I like, not all of it, but certainly this first half. I think what I'm going to do is do a track of the Martin and a track of the Weber, have them sort of left and right and have them kind of intertwining, simple lines intertwining. Yeah, I think that's going to be the way. There's actually more space in here than I thought now that I'm listening to all the components of the mix. I'm thinking that actually a double tracked thing is going to sit nicely on the sides with Ed's vocal down the middle and the strings kind of everywhere. So yeah, I'm going to do, what I've done is I've taken the tracks that I've already recorded, put them up, muted, put them away. I'm going to start fresh, and I now have a better idea what I'm going to do. So yeah. So now I'm going to do it.
Everyone, can we agree that our time has come to leave this island of outer space to the Adam and Eve of someone better? People, we've had our time, we've taken it all. Mother Nature is dying, the stars have lied, imaginary sun's got the best of us all. But it's too late to have our time again, and it's too late to say we're wrong. So don't stop breathing now, shine a little light on the world. This peaceful night of our sweet surrender is gonna set fire to us all. We won't see the end of time. Our fate cries for a while as the ground explodes. The vacuum grows and the night takes hold. The world falls out of the sky. The world falls out of the sky. It's too late to start again. We're oblivion bound. Money rules the world, there's no value to life. We are fighting over lands and a man in the sky. So say goodbye to this planet of ours. Did you enjoy your stay? Did you have a good time? We were never meant to last this long. We don't deserve to stay here now. We don't. Design takes hold. The world falls out of the sky. 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 The world falls out of the sky.
I think we got it, which is great because I've chewed through all my memory cards now. Now it's just a case, it's going to be 2 tracks, like I said, one Weber, one Martin. I'm going to have a little edit to put the comp together. Obviously I'm going on and off the capo halfway through the song, and then off on the capo halfway through, and then off later. So anyway, I'm sweaty, it's hot, my fingers are sore. I'll stop complaining. I'm pretty happy with this, so we'll see. I'm going to get it sorted out now, and let's get this finished. Right, so that's done. I'm happy with it, happy with what we've got. All sounds nice. I'm going to get it sent over to Ed. What I'll do is I'll send him the raw mic recordings, and I'm going to send him my compressed, EQ'd, a little bit of reverb, ambience, ready mixed guitar tracks as well. So he can just drop them into his project and use them. And if there's any issues with what I've done to it, he can always go back to the raw mic recording. So that's the idea there. Going to get them exported, get them sent to him, and let's see what he says. I am done for the day after that, and I'm going to stop recording because I've got no more space on my memory card. I will cut to the future here, and I'm going to let you know what he says. Future John, how did we get on? Well, it went okay, yeah. It's quite funny, really. It's been a couple of days. I've had a haircut since. Am I pretty? So I sent Ed the track, a bounce of the whole track. His response was, yeah, there are some interesting ideas there. That's not ideal in terms of response. Usually you're going for, I love it, it sounds fantastic. Some interesting ideas kind of sounded, and indeed was, like, I'm not sure about this. So I was like, oh, this is good, because I'm doing a session for a friend and I'm doing a video on YouTube for it, and he doesn't like it. So I mean, what are the odds? Should never happen. There were a couple of things. There was some noodly bits which he was like, I don't think I'm going to use that. There was an arpeggio where he didn't like the voicing that I'd chosen. And I think the second half of the song, you may remember I said I was going to just give him some double track guitars even though he hadn't asked for them. Because it's so straightforward, I'm going to double track some strummed acoustics in the second half as well, just to give him the option in the mix in case it sounds good. He was like, yeah, no, I don't need that. So I was like, oh man, I've made some poor decisions here. So anyway, but I felt quite confident in the track and the way I'd put it together. So we exchanged a couple of messages, and I said, look, for the second half of the track, just have it super low, double track, compressed, EQ the low end out of it, and then just bring it up, bring up the faders while it's playing until you can hear it, and then maybe just back it off a little bit from there. Mute it. Can you hear it adding something? Just a little something, a little bit of high-end rhythmic energy. That's all they're there for. So he tried that and he was really happy with that. The noodly bits, some of those they were just there in case he wanted them anyway. They may or may not make it. And the arpeggio that I got really excited about when I played it, I was like, oh yeah, that's it, that worked really well with the vocal. He didn't initially like, so I said, look, just put it in the mix. I'm going to send you the tracks, put them in, and once you've got them in situ, let me know how that sits. Just live with it for a day or two. And so Ed did that, and he got back to me. And this was the message.
Mr. Wright, yep. I stand corrected. My apologies for my skepticism. Yeah, it all works really nicely in the mix, and I've tried your suggestions. I've tried the jazz reverb in stereo.
Right. Right. So I was so happy to get that message because, as I say, I was quite confident in the parts. But you never know, and it's so disappointing to think that somebody might not be happy with what you've done. But on reflection, Ed was happy. I mean, I hope they'll make the final mix. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, he seems to be. It's been a day or two since that conversation now, and I don't think anything's changed. So, fingers crossed. Let's hope it comes out. The track is going to be out 25th September, I think. I'll put the details below. So yes, great relief that he was happy with it in the end, and fingers crossed it all sounds great and is a worthwhile contribution. Thank you for checking this out. I'll be happy to hear your thoughts on it. Enjoy the track. Very, very simple session, this one. Super simple, and filming and sort of documenting it for you as I am here. It makes it quite challenging, so I'm probably not going to do this too often, but you never know. This has been an interesting experiment. I wish you all well. Thank you, Ed, for for trusting me, and I can't wait to hear it when it's finished, and love to you all. Be safe.